We use linear thinking, we use analytical thinking, we use strength, which becomes aggressiveness if you push it, and so on and so forth. While what we need in our world today are things like creativity, things like empathy, things like playfulness, flow, appreciation of beauty, and so on. These are all the things that we're missing in our lives because we underplay the feminine. Each and every one has feminine and masculine in them, but they're imbalanced. I'm 58% feminine, just for all of you to know. My measurement of my tendency to use my feminine qualities, despite my beard and my masculine appearance, is feminine. And because of that feminine, I'm able to talk to you about certain things that maybe others are not able to. It's really something that our world needs. Finally, there is that incessant thought. That incessant thought, believe it or not, is the single biggest reason, this actually is scientifically proven, for all mental health issues that we suffer as humans. So there is something that is known as hypofrontality. And hypofrontality is the inability of our brain to focus enough to get out of its repetitive patterns of thinking negatively. So your partner says something hurtful on Friday. What do you do on Saturday morning? You wake up and say, oh, remember that clip from Friday at 4 p.m.? Let me play that again and torture myself. Very clever, huh? It's the Netflix of unhappiness. It's like unhappiness on demand. You know that horror movie at 4 p.m.? Let me play that again and again and again. We have an enormous ability as humans to just keep that pattern going, sometimes for years. And the opposite of that is something that we learn in meditation. And most meditators, I interviewed Galen Tupton, the top monk in the UK, on Slow-Mo on my podcast. And he was talking about the value of meditation not being able to calm your brain. Okay, that's the result that you're aiming to achieve. He said the exercise itself is to let your brain go out of control and pull it back. Like you're in the gym, you're pulling something, the movement that you want to become better at calming your brain. And the idea is that when you do that, you learn something that I define as deliberate attention. Deliberate attention is the ability to observe what's happening in your brain and simply slow it down, bring it down to calm. But believe it or not, that's not the objective, which is the biggest misunderstanding about meditation and happiness in the world today, in my view, is that we think that a happy brain is a brain that is silent, a brain that doesn't think. That's not at all true. I urge you, if your brain is thinking positive thoughts, to think away. Think as fast as you want. Think as much as you want. And that idea basically tells me that there are good thoughts. And if you can think those good thoughts, think as many of them as you want. Yes, use meditation to be able to learn to bring your brain to those thoughts, to learn to have the muscle to control your brain. But when you can, don't just keep it silent. Think 4 thoughts. And the 4 thoughts are experiential thinking, so much in the feminine. Experiential thinking is, I'm going to experience the world inside me and outside me fully. I'm going to feel what my body is feeling, what my emotions are saying. I'm going to feel that you're paying attention through your body language. I'm going to feel that you're thinking about something. I'm going to completely be in the present moment and aware. This is the most useful thought you will ever have. And this is what we're deprived of by depriving ourselves of the feminine. The second useful thought is problem solving. Yeah, very masculine. Problem solving is, I'm going to analyze something, I'm going to get to a solution, I'm going to get it done. Remember, masculine doesn't mean man or woman. Every woman on earth is able to problem solve, but it's a masculine trait. When we get into the problem solving stage, we're using this machine in a way that's actually positive. That's not only removing the unhappiness, but it's making the world better. The third, which is one of my favorite thoughts as an author, a creative, is flow. And flow is normally characterized as the artist and the tennis players and the piano player. These are the only people capable of flow. In that little voice in your head, I claim that this is not true at all. That every single one of us can be in flow almost all the time. You can be in flow when you're washing the dishes. And I give you very, very specific practical tips around how you can find flow when you're washing the dishes. And then finally, the biggest happiness thought out there is that thought of compassion and giving. Is the idea of, instead of me thinking about me only, if my brain is a survival machine, the ultimate hidden fact about survival for humans is we never survive alone. We only survive when the tribe survives. And one of the things that the modern world has deprived us of is the fact that the modern world took the responsibility of taking care of others, for having compassion of others. They took that to the system. They said the government will take care care of others, the company will take care of others. It's not me taking care of you anymore. And what I'm inviting us to do in that little voice in your head in the closing is to say, go back to the nature of being human. Give others, care for others, invite them to care for you, because that useful thought will make us come back as a community and make us all happy.